Here's 5 mistakes that every artist makes and why it's just simply not okay. First things first, not practicing enough. Regular practice is going to lead to improvement. I read a quote once, not too long ago, that said practicing something for 18 minutes a day for a year will make you better than 98% of other people doing that exact same skill. Simply just picking up your pen, picking up your tablet, grabbing your sketchbook, and drawing for 20 minutes a day is all you need to just get ahead of the majority, right? It's not going to make you necessarily the best. You're not going to be perfect. You're still going to make mistakes. But the one thing that you can do every single day, no matter what, is pick up the pen and draw for just 30 minutes. I'm sorry, for just 20 minutes. Now, granted, you can do a few different things, right? You can do, 3, 5, 7 minute sketches where you will do a portrait, or maybe you do a quick, gesture pose, or you work on environments, or, something specific in that sense. I challenge you not only to do that, but to go to the next level and start doing studies. Maybe it's a lighting study, or maybe it's coloring, or maybe, you want to work on different textures or expressions and stuff like that. I highly recommend, as you're going about, your day, and you're, doing your 20-minute practices each day, find something specific to get better at with each time. Now, that's going to be for my A+ students. For everybody else, just start. Just grab your sketchbook and just draw each day for 20 minutes. And at the end of the year, you'll be better than 98% of people. The second mistake that everyone makes is that they think that it's not okay to hate their art. It's just simply not possible to not hate some of your art. Every artist I've ever come across, every artist I've ever talked to, every artist I've ever watched, every artist I've ever followed, they just have art that could be like the best thing to us, but to them, they just absolutely hate it. I don't know why. It's just us, judging ourselves for something and being our worst critic, even if the art is actually good to the majority of people. It's because you see the little details that could have been better, or, the picture didn't give you the same feeling that you wanted it to give, or, there's just so many reasons why you can hate your art and why someone else might love it. They might get a completely different feeling than what you think they might get a completely different feeling of the picture than what you thought the feeling was supposed to be, if that makes sense. Hating your work actually means that you're evolving. It means that you're getting better. It means that you're changing. It means that something's different. And if you've been putting in the work consistently, it means that you are improving. And it's sometimes a good thing to hate the art that you tend to do. And that leads me straight into the third mistake that I see artists make, which is perfectionism. Chasing perfectionism can stall your growth simply because you'll never finish anything. You'll start an art piece, you'll get halfway done with it. It's going great. Everything's awesome. Everyone loves it. You kind of like it, but you're getting to that point where you're like, there's just something not right about it. And then you delete it, or you start a new one, or you actually finish it, but you just never post it because you think that someone else isn't going to like it. And so you don't put it out. But that one that you didn't put out may be the one that someone else needed to inspire them to maybe start their art journey. Or maybe they needed to see you put it out so that way they'll put theirs out. At the end of the day, guys, art is just art. It's beautiful in the eye of each person that sees it. You might like it, someone else might hate it. You may hate it, someone else may like it. At the end of the day, if you do a piece, try your hardest to finish the piece, whether you think it's perfect or not. And when you finish it, post it. Let other people see it. Let other people see that you aren't perfect, right? The thing is that most people want to be this perfect being all the time, and it's unrelatable and it's unrealistic. People need to see you just be authentic and just be yourself, and to just put out artwork that you think is fire. And if they don't think it's fire, then awesome. Who cares? At the end of the day, it's not about what people think. It's about what you think. Put the art out and you're good. Number 4, overworking pieces. I see so many artists overwork pieces and they don't know when to stop. So perfectionism is they can't finish. Overworking is that they don't know how to stop. They think that every little piece of hair needs to be there or else someone's gonna like see that it's not complete. But the reality of it is a lot of times people do artwork and they just go way too far and they never ever put it out because they're always trying to make it just a little bit better when they're not getting any better by doing that. The thing that will make them better is by knowing when to stop, setting, maybe a time limit or a deadline on a piece and moving on to the next one, right? Starting fresh, finding a new reference, finding a new inspiration, and doing a new piece, working on that one for a certain period of time and finishing it and then posting it. Typically what happens though is that these people tend to be the same people. The people that are usually the perfectionists are typically the same people that like to overwork. It's rooted from an insecurity of what they've done, right? So a lot of times the perfectionist and the person that overworks thinks that, either the piece isn't quite finished yet or they just need to add this to make it a little better for someone else. But at the end of the day, like, no one cares. No, like, I know that sounds bad, but it is what it is. No one really cares that much to the point where they are going to hate or love your artwork based on, that last hair strand that you added or didn't add, right? So just get to a point. For me, I like having stopping points or, time limits on each piece. I like to give myself an hour, max 2 hours to do a piece. And when that time is up, the time is up. That's it. I move on. I post it. I go to the next one. And not only does that make me work faster, it also gets rid of the procrastination syndrome and, overworking on a piece. And last but not least, the absolute biggest mistake that I see artists make and that I've made myself is comparing art to others. This is just simply not productive and it will destroy the way you view your art in the long run. I had a really hard time starting off watching Sam Does Art and a lot of other guys I follow on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. And there's times where I would look at my art and I would just be like, this absolutely sucks. Like, how could my art be so bad? And the reality of it is I'm getting likes on my post. People are telling me in the comments like, oh, your artwork looks awesome. This looks good. How do you do this? This looks great. Keep going. And there's all this encouragement. But I'm looking at my art from the lens of lack. I'm looking at my art from the lens of Sam Does Art is so much better than me. Or from the lens of, man, I'm so far behind all these other guys. Right. But the reality of it is they've been drawing for so much longer than I have. They've been doing this for so long. They're already professionals. They're supposed to be this good. And, I'm sure that they do the same thing. They've looked at, other artists and would thought like, man, my art sucks. And it's just this endless, vicious cycle. And it doesn't help anyone in the long run or the short run. So I highly recommend, I'm not saying to stay away from other big artists or other artists that you like. I'm saying to not compare your art to their art. And not just in the sense of like, oh, I'm less than this artist. Also from the other side as well. Don't look down at artists either. You may be better than some other artists, right? I don't know who's listening to this video, but you may be a really, really good artist and you may be comparing yourself to artists that are maybe beginner artists or artists that aren't as good as you are. That's just as toxic as comparing yourself to artists that are way better than you are, right? It's not good to compare. You can learn and take from any and everybody that you come across. And the goal is to just be the best version of yourself, be the best artist that you can be, and to get better every single day by practicing, being consistent, allowing yourself to not like some of your art so that way you can actually get better. Stop being a perfectionist and post art anyway. Stop overworking the art and get out of the details and post it anyway. And to simply just stop comparing yourself to other people. Guys, I hope this video helps. And if it did, hit that like button, comment below what you thought, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.